Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Glad you guys can make it. Come on in. I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick. I will be right back. It's gonna take a couple of minutes for you guys to get in here anyway, and then we'll dive right into the topic. Be right back. I had to give me some water here. It's kind of hot out here in Southern California. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing okay wherever you are in the world. I'd like you to think about the title of this live before we jump into it, though. What thoughts come to mind? And feel free to, dive in because this is going to be an interesting topic, especially to me. I'm going to talk about tools for a minute and innovation. Innovation is really my thing. I've innovated a couple of things in my own lifetime, and when you think about innovation, it can be innovating in any area of life. It can be innovating in marketing. Paragraph Life Notes, how you doing? Hot and humid in NC2. Yeah, North Carolina. Paragraph Life Notes, you out there in North Carolina. It's pretty hot, huh? It's one thing if it's hot, but then if it's humid and hot, then that's a whole nother ball game, right? That's worse. I lived in Miami, Florida for a good portion of my life, and I know how that feels. So I feel for you over there. Thanks for joining in, Paragraph Life Notes. Appreciate you. So, yeah, innovation, right? You could innovate in just about every area of your own life, in relationships, in business, if you're talking about business, for example, I've innovated physical products, right? One of those being the exact picture hanging tool you find at calibrate.com. But you can also innovate in other areas of your business. You can innovate in marketing, and you can even innovate in the finance department and accounting. I think Paragraph Life Notes herself, I think she's in the accounting field. And there's a difference between bookkeeping and accounting. Just stick with me for a second, guys. It's one thing just punch numbers in. There's another thing to be a strategic accountant, a strategic finance person, right? Meaning that you know how to be creative with your finances, how to save money, how to make money, invest money. That all takes innovation, creativity. Okay, but I don't want to go off topic. I was, checking out what's happening in the world of innovation, tool innovation, to be more specific. And I think I said in my last live that in order for some of these companies to stay afloat, they have to constantly be innovating. And if you look at some of the tools out there right now, they were not the tools. That brand had to innovate in order to stay relevant in terms of, say, battery power, torque in drills, or whatever tool you have. Torque is the amount of force that it takes to turn something, right? So all these things are either being upgraded or increased, right, in order to be more appealing to the consumer, right? Because if you don't innovate, the next guy is going to innovate, and then quote unquote competition. So you got to keep up. But as I did the research on some of these tools, matter of fact, let's take a look at some right now. They got battery chargers with the capacity is just increased to what, 4 amp hours, 5 amp hours. Looking at what else there we got here? All kinds of circular saw blades. They're coming out with new circular saw blades. It's innovation is all over the tool industry. That's why I love it so much, right? It's just everywhere. Okay, but as I did the research on these tools, right, and tool accessories like battery chargers and stuff like that, I started to something said, hey, look, dive a little deeper into just the topic of innovation itself. And that led me to discover some stuff that I think most of us never learned in school, never learned about in school. And that's why I call this live the Unsung Heroes of Innovation. Some of the things, some of the tools, some of the whatever we use today are the result of great minds that were never acknowledged for their contribution to the world of innovation and to what we do today. Okay. And that's a sad thing. So I'm going to take it upon myself on this live tonight to spotlight some of these individuals who have, a lot of them dead and gone now, but we still use some of the technologies they came up with. And, you know, just some, I mean, it just blows your mind, right? When you think about it, because you only learn about certain folks in school. You don't learn about the other folks that were behind all this innovation. And that's a sad thing. That's one of the failures of the education system that it's just depressing and saddening, okay, for lack of a better word. So I'm gonna dedicate this live tonight to them, okay? And I want you young folks to take note of this, especially people from my community, African American community, Black community, if you want, you know, whatever labels, because it's important for them to see this, to see themselves in these people, that you're not just a basketball player, football player, rapper. You have a great mind. You have a great tool in between these ears right here, and you can accomplish great things. Okay, whether the world acknowledges it or not. Okay, so I'm going to take it upon myself to give these people their due. Okay, feel free to chime in. Feel free to chime in, guys. All right, where are we here? So as I was doing my research on these tools, I got into the inventor section of Google, of the internet, and I came across a list. All right, guys, do you guys know who invented the three-way traffic light? Somebody tell me in the comments if you know who invented the three-way traffic light. Okay. The gas mask. When I was in the military, we had to do training, right? And they have this, you know, you had to simulate going into a room. No, you didn't simulate. You actually went into a room. I guess it simulated an environment, right? That would be filled with toxic gas. And you had to learn how to put your gas mask on and breathe in this toxic environment. And I'll tell you that whatever they had in that room was like, whatever gas that was, it stung the hell out of your skin, eyes burned, throat seized up, all that stuff. And you had to know how to put that gas mask on. Otherwise, you'd be dead. Okay. But you know who invented that gas mask? They called it the smoke hood back in the days, back in the early 1900s, around 19, I can't give the exact date, but back then, guy by the name of Garrett Morgan, okay, an American inventor, okay. And you got to understand too, back in the days when these guys were inventing things, coming up with things, they did it out of necessity, okay. They did it out of necessity. And they didn't just invent one thing, they invented a whole host of things. Like I said, this guy, Garrett Morgan, he invented the traffic light, the three-way traffic light that's still being used today, as well as the gas mask. What else? Let me see what else he dropped on us. Let me see right here. Let me see here. Okay, he's mainly known for the three-way traffic light and the gas mask, but I mean, come on, guys. We every time you pull up to a stoplight, do you think of Garrett Morgan? No, you don't. And I know there are going to be those of us in society who will refute some of the things I say today, but you can go, you know, that's your opinion, right? The fact remains, okay? So he invented that. Interesting, very interesting, okay? When you dive into this world of innovators, African American innovators, Black innovators that were never given their just due, even in today's educational system. And it's a shame, okay? So let's see, who else? Who else can we talk about? Marie Van Brittain Brown. Anybody know who that is? Marie Van Brittain Brown. Okay, she invented a home security system. Before security systems became a fixture in homes, she was responsible for this. Interesting story. Let's see if we can dive into that a little more. She devised an early security unit for her own home. She spent many nights at home alone in Queens, New York, while her husband was away and felt unsafe with high rates of crime in her neighborhood. On top of that, the police were unreliable and unresponsive. Sounds kind of, in 2024, that still kind of sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? So she created a device that would help put her mind at ease. She invented a system that used a camera that could slide into and look through 4 peepholes in her front door. The camera's view would then appear on a monitor in her home so she could survey any potential unwanted guests. Way back then, Marie Van Brittain Brown already invented the Ring camera, guys, so to speak. So, we think these things are new. They're not, okay? Let's give our credit where credit's due. Marie Van Brittain Brown, okay? Home security system. Amazing. Amazing. Who else? Can you guys think of anybody else? Let's look it up. Let's see here. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a second. I want you guys, especially young guys and girls, to know that everybody is an inventor of sorts. If you have an idea in your head, don't be afraid to act on it. Think on it, okay? Think about it. You can do it. There's just steps to the process. I went through it several times. And I know what I'm going to do one day. I'm going to put out a manual, okay? Based on my experience, I don't know everything on how to do it. It's not hard. Okay, you can do it. Doesn't cost that much either, at least in the beginning. You can get yourself a provisional patent, which doesn't cost. It's pretty much pennies compared to if you paid for a utility patent. A provisional patent will give you 1 year. Will give you 1 year to work out all the kinks of your invention, refine it and all that good stuff. And that will give you the rights to that thing, okay, in the patent system. And then after that year, you have to file for a utility patent if you're going to go ahead with it. So don't think that, I got this great idea and I can't do anything about it because I don't have $25,000 to slap down on a patent. My invention is so complex that, no, there is a way to get you in the game, okay? You just got to know the steps, all right? Important thing is to keep thinking, keep innovating in your head, write it down, keep journals, with dates and times and all that good stuff. Very important, because there's another side to inventing and patents, is the fact that somebody doesn't care that you have that, and you may have to defend your intellectual property in a court of law, and the more proof you have, the better off you'll be. Okay, because that's what happened to a lot of these people I'm about to talk to tonight. Because of the system, right, that they lived in at the time, and just to a very great extent, the system that we live in today, their stuff was stolen, and other people took the credit for it, right? Took the credit for what they created, which is sad. But I'm glad, Google and the internet is acknowledging it, and I'm, so acknowledging what they did and giving them their just due. Okay, guys. So anyway, back to it. I urge you guys to go look these people up, man. Very, very interesting, right? Considering the times they came up in, very oppressive times. Yet you cannot oppress this, okay? I don't care what laws they pass. They couldn't oppress the greatness that live within these people that I'm talking about tonight, and within you as well, okay? And as a result, you enjoy some of the fruits of their intellectual efforts, which is the inventions that we're talking about. So, let's talk more about, the list goes on and on. This lady right here, Patricia Bath. Let's talk about her for a second. Patricia Bath. She died recently, I think, and I wanted to meet her. She died in 2019, and I wanted to meet this lady and at least shake her hand, because check out what she did. She was an ophthalmologist, an American ophthalmologist, humanitarian. She became the first female member of the Jules Stein Eye Institute. Okay. blah, blah, blah. She, let's see, what was she known for? Okay. She discovered and invented a new device and technique for cataract surgery known as laser phaco. Okay. All right. So all this laser eye surgery that people are getting today and they've been doing for years, guess who's responsible for that? Patricia Bath. I mean, just tell me in the chat right now if you learned this stuff. If you're an ophthalmologist, you went to school for being an eye doctor or something like that. Did you learn about her? Did they teach you about her? I'm just curious. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Patricia Bath, give her props. Okay. She's responsible for that. She was an innovative research scientist advocate for blindness prevention, treatment, and cure. She went above and beyond, because without laser eye surgery, a lot of people wouldn't be where they are now. So all right, give her props, guys. All right, who else can we talk about tonight? Let me go to chat, see if anybody's there. All right, let's see it. Back to the chat. I gotta acknowledge my peeps. Urban Intellectuals, Paragon Life Notes has Urban Intellectuals has flashcards and other items that highlight the unsung innovators. Yeah, I love that. I know about Urban Intellectuals. Guys, go to urbanintellectuals.com and they give you a wealth of knowledge, history on a lot of what I'm talking about and more subject matter. Okay. Yep, that's right. Garrett Morgan, security systems, actually got a patent in 1966. Claudette McCoy says, Mary Beatrice Kenner, inventor of the maxi pad. Wow. Maxi pad, guys. I mean, come on now. This it's just amazing, the things that the average person uses today, and the people that invented them get get no recognition at all. That's why I say the educational system is biased, and I'll just be real with it here. I'm not trying to like sugarcoat. I mean, you can only try to sugarcoat things so much, right? Just sometimes you just got to say it like it is, and people just have to deal with it, right? It's a bitter pill to swallow for the people that don't want to hear this stuff, but it is what it is. Perigo Life says, Sarah Good. What did Sarah Good do? Let's look her up. I'm trying to read. Was the first what? You said Perigo Life Notes? Let's see. Sarah Good. What did Sarah Good do? We got to give our props to our people, who didn't get their props back in the day. And we shouldn't just let the internet give them the props. We need to speak about these things to our kids, speak about these people, promote them, okay? Because what's happening today is a travesty. You got communities suffering because of lack of knowledge of who they are, okay? And it's just a shame. If they only knew the greatness that existed within their own lineage, their own communities, right? Versus the cow fodder that's fed to them through the music that they listen to, okay, through the media that they consume. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? But thank goodness, all right, the laws of the universe will always have a remnant of greatness, regardless of all the garbage that's out there. Okay, so let's see here. Sarah Good, she was a woman inventor. Yeah, obviously. Sarah, right? What did she invent? Let's see here. Okay, she got a bunch of patents here. A bed. She invented a bed that could fold. Okay, a folding bed into a roll-up desk. Okay, she was doing the thing. One thing about inventing is like you get lost. You get lost in the world of innovation and creativity. And that's really where you find peace, because that's your true nature, is to create, right? The term inventing is not just physical things. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People that invented physical products and stuff like that, because we have to use them in the physical world. But just the whole we're creators at our core. We are creative beings. Okay. We are creators at our core. And if you can just tap into that, you can create whatever reality you want to for yourself. Okay. Great part about that is that if you do it with a spirit of service, then that's when you really tap in to who you are. Okay. Because then you forget that's one way to forget your problems, is to create and serve. And that's what this channel is all about. Okay. All right. Who else? Okay. Let me go back to the chat. I don't want to ignore my people in the chat. I love you people. Thank you, Claudette. You said great topic for tonight. Perigo Lightner says Sarah Good was first Black woman to get a patent in 1885 for a folding bed. Thank you for that. Called the Morgan bed. You know, Perigo Lightner had it right there, and I should have read it. Dano Seasoning. What's going on, Dano? Neighborhood cuz. Across the street from Popeyes on Centinela by Ralph's. Hey, what's happening, my man? And when I say cuz, that's just for those who know, you know what that means, right? So YouTube, calm down, nobody throwing up signs and nothing like that. I'm acknowledging the brother, and you get what I'm saying. Perigo Latino says information was always documented but not published. Yeah, I wonder why. Mike Reed. What's going on, Mike Reed? Let us know what's happening with you. All right, let's jump back to our lists, guys. I can't get enough of this, because it's just, they're just shining examples, living or dead. It doesn't matter to me, living or dead. These people are shining examples of who we really are as a people, and the greatness, okay, that we have within us. These people, you should have posters of these on pictures on your kids' bedroom walls, okay, around the house. You should have books about these people around the house, okay. That's what you should have around the house. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. And by the way, I'm reading about people people that have passed away. But today we have some great inventors. Even today, there's a guy by the name of Moses West. Check him out on Instagram. I'm going to give this man his props. Okay, he created a system where he can create water from the atmosphere. I know there is a technical term for that process, but he's done it. Matter of fact, he was going to different cities, I think he still is, around the United States with his, and these things are large. They're like containers, metal, anybody ever seen if you're a trucker like me, you know about the metal containers, right? Containers. These things are about that size, and they turn air into water. So you can go someplace where there's droughts and stuff like that, and you'll have water. Okay. Check this guy. His name is Moses West. He's dedicated his life to this. And this is he's one of the unsung heroes living today that I'm just giving props to. So Moses, if you hear me now on this live, I'm giving you some straight props, man, because he's making this stuff out of air, right? I think one of his machines got broken into, stolen, or something like that at one point, because people were hating on him, a brother doing his thing out here in the world. Great things that the person who stole it probably couldn't even think about doing. And, but he's still, he didn't let that stop him. There's just bumps in the road, man. Sometimes you just got to look at things as bumps in the road. Okay. It's not the end of the line. Okay. All right. Let me get back to this, man. I'm getting excited out here talking about inventors, and stuff like that. Black inventors, to be more exact. Because they don't get their props. They never did. So if you don't like it, you can move on to the next video or live. So that's for the haters out there. But anyway, let's see here. Let's see. Lewis Latimer. I know you guys probably heard of Lewis Latimer. Let's see what he did. Lewis Latimer. Let's see. His inventions included. Oh, okay. Let's see here. His inventions included an evaporative air conditioner. All right. The AC. I think that's more like the swamp cooler type, but still. Evaporative air conditioner. An improved process for manufacturing carbon filaments for light bulbs. Everybody hears about Thomas Edison. He created the light bulb. What about this guy, Lewis Latimer? Does he get his props? Does he get recognition, for that, for what he's done? Is his face plastered all over the history books as a inventor for an improved process for manufacturing carbon filaments for light bulbs? And improved toilet systems for railroad cars. So back in his day, if you look at his picture, he's suited and booted, because back in those days, you were dressed to the nines, okay? You weren't walking around with your pants hanging down to your knees and none of that, okay? You were dressed, okay? And I know it was, you were dressed like an Englishman, but still, right? you were dressed, right? And so they had, they were taking railroad trains everywhere. So he invented an improved toilet system for them. Oh, it says in 1884, he joined the Edison Electric Light Company, where he worked as a draftsman. The Lewis H. Latimer House, his landmark former residence, is located near Latimer Projects in Flushing, Queens, New York City. How many kids in New York City? Yeah, listen. How many kids in New York City, in Queens? And I've lived in New York. I know about Queens. I know about the projects. I've been there. How many of those, ask yourself, how many of those little kids in Queens, New York know about him? That he used to live there, that a great inventor, a great mind like Lewis Howard Latimer lived there. How many of the parents of those kids that live in those projects in Queens, New York know about Lewis Howard Latimer? What about the people that probably live in the house he used to live in Queens, in the projects? 34-41 137th Street in Flushing, Queens, New York City. Yeah. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you're ignorant and you don't know, you're not given. I don't blame you for the ignorance, because it was kept from you. It wasn't, it wasn't promoted. And when you were coming up as a kid, you didn't know. It was deliberately kept from you. Okay. And another agenda was pushed. Okay, guys. So yeah, great. Anytime you flip that light bulb on, think about him. Think about Lewis Latimer. Anytime you turn that switch on. All right, let's see what else. Where else? What else can we talk about? I can go on, guys. I can go on for days about this. Mike Reed said he saw that. Yeah, there it is. Perigolinos. Moses West created the atmospheric water generator and makes and cleans water. Look at that. Yep, absolutely. So I'm not gonna spend all night, guys, because I'll talk about. Just a few more, and then I'm gonna let I'm out of here. But just want to drop this seed out there for anybody who's receptive to what I'm talking about tonight. My mission is at least to plant a seed in that person that says, hey, look, I have that idea. No matter how young you are, old you are, there's no age to innovation. There's no age to creativity. You could be 90 years old, 100 years old, coming up with, inventing. You could play basketball for 4 or 5 years as a pro, but then your days are numbered, right? Which is what a lot of these young people are aspiring to be athletes. You can only be in the pros for so long. before your body starts wearing down, you get injured, or you just drop out, you know. But what's never going to age at all is this, right? Your creativity. You keep your mind strong. It can last you, man. Okay. So, I want you to build this up. Think about ideas. Think about things around the house that may, that you can maybe improve, or think of something that you could improve on. Because a lot of inventions really are just, you're just improving on something, right? Something that was already existed. And then sometimes, there's stuff that didn't exist. But my point is, you can do what these people did. Valerie Thomas. What did Valerie do? Valerie Thomas, an American data scientist and inventor. She invented the illusion transmitter, for which she received a patent in 1980. You heard that, guy? How many of you even know what an illusion transmitter is? I don't even know what it is. All right. She was responsible for developing the digital media formats that image processing systems used in the early years of NASA. You know, the place where they launched the space shuttles and stuff like that. Landsat program. Okay, so in the early years of NASA's Landsat program, this lady, okay, kind of looks like my cousin a little bit. She came up with that. How many people know about her? See, you shouldn't have to go to Wikipedia to know about her. These are people that the masses should know about, right? So ask yourself, why? Why don't you know about them? Okay. Yeah, just a little moment of silence there. Just letting that sink in for a minute. Is she still around? Let's see. Is she still around? Yeah, she's still around. She's 81 years old. Maryland. She lives in Maryland. I'm sure you guys remember as a kid, they had that toy gun called the Super Soaker. Remember the Super Soaker? That guy's still alive. Brother, he invented that. Okay. And I remember the story behind him behind that invention. He was already an inventor in high school, so just gifted in that way. And he came up with that Super Soaker gun. It was so commercially successful that that put him on the map. But he's still inventing today. But you hardly hear about him. His name is Lonnie Johnson. Some of you guys probably heard about him. But yeah, anyway, that's my point, guys. I can go on forever and ever with this, but I just want to give these guys their props. There's so many that I did not mention tonight. The list goes on and on and on. But I urge you guys, especially if you have kids, expose them to this. Expose them to these people, because they need this. They need this information. They need this. They need to be able to see themselves in this light. Okay. And that's why I did this live tonight. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming on. And, feel free to like and subscribe. It's free. And, I'm not asking you to pay for nothing. But you can go to calibrate.com and support a fellow inventor like myself, and check out what I got over there. So anyway, guys, you have a good night. I appreciate you. And please share this live if you can. I should have told you that in the beginning, but it's all good. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.